Alright, the Big Fat Run, Part 2. Third recording of the day. Let's see how long I can keep this streak going. At this rate, I might just finish the game today. I'll see. Who knows? Maybe if you leave a comment on this video, I can do something differently next video. Or maybe not. Maybe it's all already done. Anyway, what am I doing? This is going to be kind of... Let me see. What am I looking for here? I did septic. Okay, good. Because if I needed to go back to arrays, which arrays also has new enemies. Those purple fish shoot out chum and bubbles who are like projectiles. You can't shoot them down. So they're gonna travel a set distance and then they'll start chasing you. Kinda cool. Neat variation on the chum spawner. Yeah, the other thing I'm trying to do on this run is to visit each area. So I think I just need Lattice and then we're good. Well, that's useless, so yeah. I guess the nice thing would be to just disable upgrade nodes from spawning if you have 8 upgrades. That way you're technically not losing a node option, but I think it's fine. It's not too detrimental. Like if you're this stacked, I think you'll be fine, probably. Why am I thinking about this? I'll take it. It's fine. In fact, it's kind of nuts because I have Ionize and insane damage. Okay, one thing's for sure. If you could keep looping endlessly, Deadeye makes this weapon... Pulse, was it? It makes the circles bigger. So, larger area of effect. But yeah, if you could endlessly loop, you could max out the POW counter. Because it creates sort of a feedback loop where you're so strong that it's hard to take damage. You have a way of getting shields. It becomes even harder. That's why Bulwark would be ridiculously good here. And yeah. With any luck, I can show off basically everything I want to in this run, and then I can beat the game next run. And then maybe one more run for Pea Shooter. So yeah, I have it all mapped out in my head now. I can see the end of the playthrough. I guess I do want to check on the coral, see if I actually did that right, and see just how many of the items are now useless fluorite. Ah, okay. So it's still not that bad. I did it twice, right? I don't know if it's the number of times you've used amped bombs or the number of times you've looped back. Neo never quite explained how he's handling that. I do know that the first time I looped back, almost everything was fluorite because I think it was messed up. So now it's going to be a bit more gradual. Yeah, I'll grab that. That's POW and damage. That's right. Ah, so that was correct. That wasn't. What did I do for bubble? Average conditions and basic pH. So I think basic pH is that then. Because I'm pretty sure last time I did this and that was wrong. And this time I did that. So thank you, Algol. That's what basic means. Fair enough. But why was this wrong? Let's see if I can figure it out. Low CO2, but not no CO2. Basic pH. Oh, maybe I just messed up the CO2 actually. Or wait, no, I think I did do this last time. Huh. Check for chum is funny. If chum could show up on the screen and kill you, that would be kind of humorous. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out on my own time, maybe. But if there is an achievement for doing all of these right, then who knows? Did I feel like I might have messed this one up. Huh. Is this what I did last time? I don't think this is correct. Acidic. I feel like I should be getting something from acidic. I guess the only question is what I want to do differently this time. Not sure that makes any sense. Wait a minute, phosphates. Maybe I got that wrong. I'll just leave it there. Maybe I'm sort of brute forcing it, but I guess if you don't know much about coral, that's how it's gonna go. Huh. Is that because I reloaded the area? That's how that works? That's a little weird. I never noticed that in testing. Would this even do anything? Oh, 20% POW, because I'm at maximum max life. Maximum life. Yeah, I guess that does make sense. And I already have a shield. Oh, it's because one max life item is like 4 HP worth of HP items, which I said myself earlier, so it gives you 20% POW. I get it. I get it. Now, what else do I want to do? I could go to relays now. Although, isn't relays next anyway? Maybe I just want to slow down the build-up of fluorite at this rate. And I also want to go to Lattice, which I think I wanted to go to Lattice anyway. And finally, I will actually go to Mantle. But I'm not going to beat the game. You'll see. You'll all see. Wait, I thought I dropped the chain. Why is it still going now? Huh. A little strange. Hello, Polypa. It's been a little bit. I don't think you'll last very long. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, wait a minute. With Crown, Even without crown, if you kept looping endlessly, you could still max out the POW counter, even if you didn't get any items. I think at some point where we were talking about looping back, Neo was like, I'm playing with fire, and I'm doing something really... something I haven't seen a game do before. We ultimately decided that this is a lot like replaying areas in an RPG to farm for levels, basically. Actually, Neo said that. That's right. I think I was being more charitable. I said, like, New Game Plus. It's not quite arcade looping, I said. This is going to be a bit uneventful, but I think this is the last area I'll be replaying. I do think that maybe allowing the player to waste this much time on a single run is kinda questionable. But I understand what the intent is. It's to figure out this one quest to make the achievements possible. I do think Neo said that was specifically part of the point of this. And he was otherwise just curious how this would play out if he allowed you to do it. I'll pick the cash, I think. More POW. Do I really want more POW? Now, what the hell? If I reroll it, it might be fluorite, so... Alright, I can just dash through them. By the time I get used to using Blink, I'll start the next run and I won't have it. Which is exactly my thought process with Blink and Star of Providence as well. Oh, right. I just realized what's going on with the pearls. It's the thing Blink does. Where it stops you from being able to collect pearls for a moment. I just forgot. Now I see. Could that kill your chain? Let me pay attention here. Yep, your chain keeps decaying. Neat. Aha, the shop. Good. New chat topics, huh? I don't know what it is with my stomach today. I hope much of this isn't even audible and you'll be thinking, what are you talking about? That would be the best case scenario. About your radio. What gave me the idea for the radio? I've had this conversation with Hysteria and Oarfish many times. Are the mind and the body separate or the same? Oarfish believes they are the same, while Hysteria believes they are separate. But my answer was, why does it matter at all? What's more important is how minds communicate with each other. The radio is simply a tool to amplify that communication and connect everyone. This overlaps with what the eels are doing with electropathy. However, those who aren't part of this network cannot communicate to the same extent. Some eels are outcasts because of damage to their spines or contrarian beliefs. I've been working with them to create a network of computers that can send data, images, and video, not just sound. Although electropathy can communicate a greater depth of information, this internet will help the rest of Carsina. Ray is inventing the freaking internet. That's amusing to me. the internet for better or worse. I'm gonna see if these turn into fluorite when I come back, but now for those Callsigns. Ah, yeah. Now the icons are gone. So, okay, this is gonna be a lot, but I think at this point I can get more dialogue by contacting these again. Oh no, my brain is failing to comprehend again. Why? Stupid brain. Does it even make sense to distance yourself from your own brain like that? I think about that sometimes. So this is polar. Hi, Looper number 2, second time. Hello again. Hi, hello, hi. I've never seen this dialogue before. The Divine Relay is almost ready, Bimbus. That's all you need to know. Yay! Seems that's all Bimbus has to say. Oh, but is there a variation on that? Okay. I guess it just shows an arrow. Huh. Now for arrays. .7, right? 9.2. Hello? Oh, it's you again, from the radio again. Did you end up finding the final amplifier part? Yes, the drone finished its task. It's going to enter Mantle soon. Oh wow, that's scary. But also, Mantle is interesting ecologically. All of the other creatures within parasitize worm. As a result, they're adapted to living in extremely hot environments. I believe this was something Oarfish discovered, right? That sounds right. And there are traces of anti-parasitic chemicals in arrays made by the cephalopods. Specifically to address this, which I am surprised the chemicals are still lingering around. It really goes to show how much they trashed the place. I'm sorry, that was insensitive, little wanderer. See if that's all Coraline has to say. Cool. I knew that I missed this dialogue. I kind of wanted to save it for now, because Neo told me that at this point it's different. I just forgot now, as I was playing, that I would have to do it in Act 3. Although... I do think by the time you have 3 out of 4 parts, it would make sense for the dialogue to change. Because when I saw the same dialogue from before I did the lab, after I had already done the lab that requires the radio, that was a bit jarring. I'm sure Neo will sort it all out as he wishes later. 9.2, yep. Uh-huh. And yeah, that's septic. Oh my god, Ray, can you let up for... Oh, it's you, little dude. Wait a second. Does that mean you got all the amplifier parts? Yes, it did. Did you give the amplifier to Jin? Do I lie? I've never done this before. No. If you're double-crossing me, I'll blow you up to smithereens, dude. She will blow you up to smithereens. Whatever, dude. Is that R supposed to be there? Since I didn't read this, I didn't proofread it either, so if you actually want to talk to me, just come back to my place, okay? Seems that's all Roach has to say. Do I say yes? What the hell, I'll do that again and I'll say yes. I think it should skip to the dialogue option. Yep, yes. Dude, that was the one thing I told you not to do. Lunch ruined. You know it was inevitable, Roach. Yeah, I guess. Whatever, dude. Oh yeah, the same line. And same... Oh wait, E and R are next to each other on the keyboard. Yeah, that's a typo. I do tend to check and see if that's a possibility. Stickler for details, I suppose. Yeah, what happens if you... I think I did see, I'm just not remembering. If you do the lab frequency again at this point. No response. No point going back, drone. Yup. And now, finally, for the call signs I wrote down. Wow, this is a lot. So the first one was 7623. Of the ones that Niner said, right? Four, 9, 2, 3. Yup. Oh, and I even wrote down what this one was, but you'll see. Hello, this is the Buzz. Oh, wait. This is the boss. What's up, the boss? Niner. Oh, you found Niner? That's quite the surprise. They're one of the first machines we discovered outside of relays. I gave them that nickname because their call sign is all 9s. If they're a drill, I guess you could say they're a minor niner. Minor 49er. That's what I was thinking. That's what I said in testing. Figured it's worth saying again. Dear God. Say, where were they? Polar. Ah, did they mention how they ended up there? Crab. Just another day on Carsona, huh? If that's the case, though... No, I don't think they were the source of the interference. Signals from as far as Polar can cause interference, but the reported source seems closer. That's a good hint, actually. Call signs? Oh, you got some call signs from them? That is sweel. I can't. That's the one I can't do. Swell and with eel shoved into it. How do you even pronounce that? You're killing me, Jin. Try looking those up in the radio. They might get you closer to the root of the problem. Now that pun I like. Stop calling it that. Cheers. Seems that's all Jin has to say. So I won't have to do that again. Now for the second call sign Niner gave 9032 47 67. Yep. What? Who is this? Wait, Ray's lackey? How did you find my call sign? Why? I think it was from Niner. Oh, that little snitch. No, if you want to talk to me, come to relays. I'm not going to tolerate someone listening in. And I do think we're going to talk to Orbweaver later. And finally, I think this is the one that Niner tried to contact but didn't get. It didn't even connect. Yeah. Yeah, it didn't even go through. I think the call sign you're looking for is in Lattice drone. Huh. Did Ray say that before? I can't remember. Is that an overt hint? Because Jin said it's much closer than Polar. It's very close if it's causing interference. And then Ray just says go to Lattice. Oh yeah, I should also just contact Niner. Hello? Oh, it's you again. And this time, you're calling from Ray's radio. Hello, Ray. Oh, hello, Niner. This is my new friend, 13. They are nice, smiley face. I'm surprised you managed to find Niner. We were wondering where they went for a season or so. Good job, I suppose? Seems that's all Niner has to say. So I was dense. Neo had to just show me this interaction, because I was like, why are you calling me 13? That's why. By the way, I had to... It took me a while in testing to start referring to Niner as Niner and not Nines. Nines also makes sense, but this isn't Nier Automata. That's where I got that from. But yeah. It looks like this is your own call sign. All 13s. Yep. Makes sense. It's consistent. It should be obvious, but I just didn't think of it. It looks like this is your own call sign. All 13s. Calling it creates audio feedback. Calling it creates audio feedback. You should probably stop now. You should probably stop now. Oh, I love that. That's great. So, onward to Lattice. Wow. This is a lot. This is too much, honestly. Yep, that became fluorite. Managed to keep that in the back of my mind. Grab some damage, even though it's excessive. But that's fine, because if I play this right, I'll never have to loop back again. And I can play much more reasonable, balanced runs instead of this. That's the main issue with this, is... like, any carefully tuned balance that Neo was maintaining with the finite amount of nodes you would find in a run. And the new POW system and whatnot is kind of thrown out the window when you loop back. I can imagine if you wanted to abuse this as much as possible, and actually I think I read someone saying this in the Discord, you just loop back to Polar from Mantle, and that way you'll get the least amount of fluorite and the max amount of items from a single loop back. I think that's what they meant, anyway, and that's what I'm thinking right now. So hopefully this is... Yep. I think you will always encounter Orbweaver here if you have electropathy when you loop back. Oh look, it's you again. Didn't you listen to what Jin had to tell you? The source was coming from outside Relay, stupid. I like that a lot. It both fits this character, but it's also the developer being like, hey, dumbass. This is the opposite of what I told you to do. Don't bother trying to find Ampray or Dynamo. They don't have anything meaningful to tell you. Since you're here, though, I guess I should entertain you. Okay, yeah. Oh, damn it. Stupid. Oh, buzz off, asshole. Yeah, I think that's the sort of thing Orbweaver says. Oh! It's so stupid. I was just doubting if I unmuted myself. Which I muted myself because my nose was acting up again. Oh well. My bad. That's the sort of thing Orbweaver would say if you picked the instigating dialogue option before Orbweaver was moved to Act 3. I mean, I guess I'll have to loop back anyway, because I know what... Okay, I can still make this work, it's just gonna be a bit convoluted. Definitely not making that mistake again, I can tell you that much. Lattice, excellent. That's every area except Mantle. Notice there are some relays in here. Yeah, something's up. And as part of Act 3, you can now encounter the pink drones here. The drone queue, as it were. Why did I try to click to unpause instead of pressing space? Maybe that's from the last time when I accidentally picked an upgrade because of that. Yeah, there are satellites in here as well. And a new node, I think that's even a unique color. Aperture. No, not portal. Photography. And there are photo bombs in here and a unique UI and everything. That's clearly a desktop on the screen there. You can reset all the photos and you can take these, but I think I'll have to free up some space. But there is a photo in here to begin with. Ah. Yeah, remember that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think this actually reflects what the hidden HUD is right now, so I can spend... Nope. Nope, this is the bomb that gets used first. I got thrown off because I left the selection brackets there. I guess I'll take a couple photo bombs. Oh, I just confused myself again. Whatever, it's fine. It's totally fine. After you reset that, you can't see the Stargazer blueprint anymore. When I was testing, I guess this was some small contributing factor. It took Neo a while to get Act 3 done, and I saw the foreshadowing for this with the Stargazer blueprint in the satellite area in Act 2. So by the time I got here, I was like, what is that? Even though you're supposed to remember, oh, it's that again. So that probably didn't help me in figuring all of this out. But here's where things get kind of tough. So when I got here, I was looking for some kind of trigger with the photo bombs that would advance the quest, because I obviously knew I was onto something, because there's new stuff here. I'm gonna use a... well, maybe not there. You might notice that blowing up the crystals doesn't spawn the other drones, it just builds up drone queues behind you. I think that's random. There are now variants to Lattice. It's an Act 3 thing. Okay, I guess that works. That's as good as any photo I could take. Ideally, you should get 2 when you go through here, though. Yeah, I was thinking something would show up in the photos that would be very obvious, or it would tell me which of those satellites to destroy, but Jin specifically said that that's not the problem. Although last time we were doing something for Jin, it did involve relays like that and shooting the right satellite, which is why I was thinking that. And then again, we already did that, so I eventually realized, wait, that can't be it, because it's just a repeat of the other quest then. But now, if I go back in here, and I guess I only need 1 photo to demonstrate this. You can move the photo you just got. There used to be some weird thing where the photo you took would already be in the inventory here, and you would have an extra bomb for some reason. I think Neo fixed that. It's just a photo of the gameplay earlier, right? Which is cool that it reuses the quest, the sniffer quest, and the photo bomb mechanic. So I think 1 digit of this is off screen, but the point is to see these pink numbers. They're constantly scrambling during gameplay, but a photo, you actually see 1 frame of that scrambling. So 8, 4, 6, and 4, 8. When I was doing the quest, instead of dots to separate the numbers, there was a semicolon, which I forget what Neo said. It was some limitation on his end that he had to use a semicolon instead of a dot. But now he's clearly changed that so he can use a dot. And now it should be obvious. These are pieces of a call sign. You need to loop through Lattice and keep taking photos like this so you can piece it together. And the call sign is, it doesn't repeat any digits. So this is the correct order of 3 of the digits and the correct place of the dot. So once you have enough of these, which I wrote down like, how many? I wrote down 6 different pieces. And sometimes you'll also get only 2 digits because those are the last 2 digits. Or, yeah, I think it's only if they're the last 2 digits. So you could keep playing if you're using this as a guide and try to put this all together. But now I'm going to say what it is. It is 1846275. And it has the dots in the same places as all the other call signs, and it's the same length as the other call signs. So that's all we need from here. Now I can reset the photos, take both of these bombs. And another thing is there's no obvious way to leave this version of Lattice. You actually have to use amped bombs to reroll the portal nodes. Which is fine, because Aperture keeps giving you photo bombs. So, you're never going to be stuck here or anything. Maybe on YouTube you could even go frame by frame and look at those pink numbers. Oh, the crystals hurt enemies? I forgot about that. while they're falling. Cool. Yeah, so the point of Blink is that you can't save a chain by teleporting through something hazardous. That's cool. That's a sensible limitation on what would otherwise be just a strict upgrade to your dash. So yeah, now... what am I looking for? Relays, actually. That's not scripted, is it? It would be convenient. Now, I'm not gonna shoot Orbweaver in the face. For the last time. Back through relays again. Depending on how long it takes you to figure everything out, this could get kind of old, I will say. I don't have anything more to say until we get to the radio again. Ah, what am I doing? That was terrible. Is everything fluorite yet? No. That's surprising. How many times have I looped back? I'm sure if I try to reroll, things are gonna get ugly. I think I'll just take a burst to recover from that bit of a blunder with those hits. Yeah, even with 2% POW, which I think is the smallest amount you could have at any time, you still get a little bit of ionize. Ah. I could talk about a new twin-stick shmup I just learned about, but its name was kind of weird and it escapes me at this time. It was a lot like Geometry Wars, but way cooler. Maybe I'll bring it up in the next part or something. I'll make a note of it. Well, the weapon. What are you doing, man? You're maxed out on upgrades. Pick the weapon. Aha. That's what I was expecting to see. And yeah, if you pick it, it even gets rid of the other option. Wait, where am I now? So I should get a shop next, I think. And then it should be Orbweaver again, and I'll be careful this time. My nose is not stuffed up now, I won't even have to do that. Yeah. All right. So now to input what we should have gotten from Lattice 1.8. Oh, I should explain, my whole problem was that I was too hung up thinking that it would be simpler than the other quests, that I wouldn't have to write anything down. And I just wasn't in puzzle solving mode, because I didn't think I'd have to be. So once Neo told me, no, you're looking for something, get a pen and paper, I think he had to point out the numbers and mention call signs, and then I put it all together very quickly and easily. I do think this is kind of cryptic, but given that it's an optional quest, I think that's fine, and it can be kind of a community effort to figure it out. You know, I think hopefully people have figured it out before this video goes up. I think they have. Did I read something about this quest in particular in the Discord? I can't remember at this moment. 18462-735. Yep, that's it. But having some cryptic stuff that'll take a little bit at least is cool. This call sign. Drone. No. Looper, I must ask. After you leave, do you think you'll come back to Carsina? I mean, I would say yes. At this point, the characters have really grown on me. But maybe I'll ask why. You caught my attention when you first landed. Cephalopods hadn't come to Carsina in 100 years. And most drones that appear on Carsina are hostile. They can't be reasoned with. Even with electropathy, they'll restate their mission and attack until they're destroyed. I was worried you would be the same, but you were different. Even if it was... Oh, damn it. I had no problem reading this earlier. Even if it was utilitarianism, there we go. You actually worked with us to help complete the Divine Relay. I know that word. I don't read it very often, but I know it. And I know how to pronounce it, but... unheard of before now. When I was growing up on Carsina, Oarfish would speak with the marrow, commune with the forms of all living things. He instilled a curiosity in me, to listen and talk with every creature, no matter how big or small, I assume. Did I point that out to Neo? Oh well. And when I discovered electropathy and radio waves, I was ecstatic. It opened an entirely new world of possibility, of eels and machines, and everything in between. The Divine Relay, it'll help restore Carsina, but... I really just wanted to talk to Worm. Whether through the Chimera or the Divine Relay, I wanted to understand it better. Tell it about how much it was hurting us. How much we were hurting it. How we could reconcile. Don't you want to understand Worm better too, even if it kills you? I mean, yeah. Actually, it'll be very appropriate for me to say yes to that, but you'll see. I've said you'll see so many times, but I'm packing everything into this one run, every loose end before the finale. Good. This is how everyone should strive to be. As for this call sign, however, this points to Asteria's satellite. After you leave, you'll find it within Lattice. Of course, it could be used to talk to minds on other worlds across the stars. Yet another layer peeled back after machines and worm. But you'll find that Asteria wanted to use it for something else. You'll just have to go and see it for yourself. Make sure you got all the call signs you needed from Niner before you go. And I'll mention now, if you were ahead of the game, like for instance if you're a tester replaying this quest and you already have this written down, if you tried to enter it before you spoke to Niner, Ray would just say, you're not ready for this yet. And I think she points you to Polar, I'm not sure, but yeah, that's why. You really do need those call signs. Take care, Looper. Alright. This very, very long run is nearing its end. I wonder how it's going to play out, actually, because I'm going to end it with something really funky, let's just say. I think I'm fine with this. I don't want to get any stronger than I already am. And now, I am taking my hand off the mouse. This is all the same. And now, I'll actually do this properly. Ah, my nose was stuffed up again. Damn it. I'll be confident this time. I know you can hear me. I didn't mess anything up. I think. No, just go, man. Just go. Quit doubting yourself. Oarfish. Yes, I know him. He's tried reaching into the network before. When he tried to speak to me, the blinding pain caused me to instinctively close the connection. He hasn't contacted me again. Ray? If you're wondering why I'm such an asshole, it's probably because of Ray. I'm something the eels refer to as a shadow. You're an ultimate life form. Okay, I couldn't resist, I had to say that. When an individual has a strong enough presence in many other minds, they can manifest in the web of electropathy based on the impression they left on the world. It would be an understatement to say that Ray's been a real jackass. Wait, is there more? No, okay. Because it's an unusual dialogue branch that doesn't show if you're repeating dialogue or not, so I just wanted to make sure. Niner. Oh, Niner. Their naivete is endearing. Most other machines are animalistic, interested in their own survival, but not them. We'd end up having to save them from mechanical predators they couldn't deal with on their own. It feels like they got sent to Polar for their own good, to tough it out being alone. Maybe they'll grow some thicker skin. Divine Relay. I get it. You're sold on the Divine Relay. Either that or you don't care enough about this planet to find a different way out. But I've been studying the effects of glitch storms on eels when they hit, and it causes them to lose their sense of speech and comprehension, a kind of electric aphasia. Oh, I meant to look this up, but I didn't. Maybe I'll remember now. If you're lucky, you develop a unique dialect that limits you to talking to just a few others like you. I'm almost certain that when the relay activates, it'll shatter electropathy into countless languages. Coordination will be impossible. The entire coalition will fall apart. Nobody wants that. And yet, no matter how much I tell people, they don't seem willing to listen. I think that's all. Enough of you. Get out of here. Yeah, if you talk, you don't even have to fight, Orbweaver. Kinda cool. And here we go. pretty sure at this stage there's nothing to talk with Jit about. Oh yeah, this time I do get the red and green drones from the crystals, not the pink drones. And this time this enemy's here. That can also appear in regular Lattice now. Because I think before it was limited to the Kit Bash quest, if I remember correctly. I like it. It means once you get to this stage and you're replaying the game, it has the maximum amount of variety. The only thing is that maybe that variety would have been nice earlier as well. Wait, that could be an upgrade. Okay. That was a mistake to pick that, I think. And yeah, at this stage. Maybe I was just lucky when I found some items without any fluorite earlier. But if I loop back now, it's gonna be almost entirely fluorite, if not nothing but fluorite. And that's another new thing. Now there are glitch storms in here. You can dodge them. They're not that dense, but they do hurt you. They turn the crystals into drones, and they kill the other enemies. Another cool effect. I really dig it. And this is why I look forward to what Neo promised, which I'm gonna explain that once I've actually beaten the game, I think. But it's pretty exciting. I'll have good reason, personally, to keep playing the game later, once that stuff is added. I don't think I want Aura, but what's gonna happen here? Okay, Needler. I think I have too much POW, though. I don't want to be this strong, in general. Oh, I think Deadeye makes Needler... It gives it a higher charge limit so you can fire a longer volley. I think that's what it was. You know what? I did that on purpose. I was thinking, I'm sure I'll get hit eventually, but... Nah. I guess if you wanted to make yourself weaker, you could just end your combos before they even start constantly. That's something. Guess you could do a self-imposed challenge. And there's the satellite. And now we can actually do some things here. I'm not sure if you can contact every Callsign. I guess I could try one just for the heck of it. What I said about my perception being screwy. No, actually it's better like this when it's vertical. The human brain just doesn't make any sense. No rhyme or reason, just depending on the person and the day, you'll get different results probably. Uh-huh. Okay, so the others don't work. I'm pretty sure the Lattice Callsign is the one that connects to Lattice specifically. So if I enter it here, it's not going to do anything, but I might as well try. But this would be like contacting the buzz while you're in the buzz, or contacting your own call sign, like earlier. Now I want to try that as well. What am I doing? 2-7, yeah. Three, 5. Yeah, it's here, so there wouldn't be a response. I'm curious if you can, the 13 thing, first of all, yes, is a reference to Star of Providence. Neo straight up told me that. But yeah, it does also imply that there were 12 previous drones that went through here on Carsina, I think. And those are the ones that Ray was talking about. Okay. No funny business. Straight to business. So the one call sign that we didn't get a response from is the third of those call signs that Niner mentioned. Which is this. Upload, scan, reboot. Let's... Okay, that set. Start. So, tell me more about this Stargazer. Of course, Ray. Stargazer is a spacecraft that will be able to breach through Carsina's shell into space. From there, it will be able to travel outside of the benthic nebula and reach other stars. Surely you've thought about leaving Carsina before. Sometimes, when I was small. Well, now that you're older, consider the naive approach of simply bringing the crew on board. It is obvious how impossible this task would be, yes? I want to let you know that I'm being distracted by my cat right now. Come here. Neo, if you're watching, it's Mika. Not the other one. Fine, you can stay here. Just let me finish this run. Could you imagine the blueprint for a spacecraft with its own water treatment and food supply? Oh god, my brain hurts even thinking about it. And the crew wouldn't even be happy with that. They'd start demanding heated baths and fresh caviar. Very true. But I think despite everything, there is a true way to enter space. A way not bound by our physical limitations. I believe that the cephalopods discovered a way to upload their minds into machines. It's almost certainly how they achieved mastery of their planet. Once their entire civilization was immaterialized, they were free to expand across the galaxy. Imagine what we could do if we could freely embody machines on Carsina. I assume that belch was audible, excuse me. We could more effectively automate agriculture, manufacturing, communications. True omnipresence and omnipotence. Most importantly, we can embody spacecraft and carry our minds out of the planet. No cumbersome chittin' to worry about. Could we even use it to discover other planets and communicate with other life forms? Yes, we could. That would be amazing. But what about everyone on Carsina? Can we successfully upload all of their minds? Perform this transcendence? If Carsina really is a dying planet, what happens to those who can't transcend? Will you just leave them behind? Progress is generational, Ray. There will be stragglers. This is the next step of our evolution. When you want to be the first witness to this amazing new world? When you want to join me? I don't know. I feel conflicted about this, Asteria. There's still business that needs to be finished on Carsina, and I still want to discover a way to talk to Worm. I don't think that would leave us with much time left. In that case, I will go alone. I have to see this next step myself. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Asteria, I need your help with the eels, with Chimera, with Worm. I can't do this alone. There are others with my skills. I'm not that special. Damn it, A. I don't want to die on Carsina without you. Well, if our paths diverge now, maybe we'll find each other in another life. Stargazer. Oh, this is so cool. The first time I was not expecting this at all. Kind of a weird boss, too. I think I'm still a bit too powerful, maybe. At least it feels like it. These get added in and they stack. They have various different attacks. What happens if I get in range of this one? Ooh, oh, that's really cool. So the crystals do something. I don't think I ever noticed that when I was testing, but yeah. It detonates the crystals. And yeah, that's not it. Oh, this is so cool. Ah, right, they fall off. I am moving to the right, by the way, because you will get pushed into the left side of the screen otherwise. A fairly quick boss, but a really cool boss. I would assume you can encounter it in Lattice from here on out on subsequent runs. We'll see. This will be the first time I do that. Or, I think I did try once, but I just got the regular Lattice boss. Seems Jin is good with favors. Why do you want to leave Carsina so badly, Looper? I believe I said I have to. And I do think that's probably the most appropriate option. I am curious about the rest, but I don't have to show everything, and I can't. I'd have to do this 4 times, I'm pretty sure. I have to. Perhaps it is in your very nature to shine among the stars. I do not think I can deny you that. We all have our own reasons, I suppose. Indeed, you have seen the reasons for which I wish to leave Carsina. Surpassing flesh and melding with the machine, the ultimate abstraction of mind. But electropathy appears to work differently from how I expected. Stargazer may not have been possible in the first place. You too are different. When I met you, I realized you were not an eternal mind, but a new being. My theories about the cephalopods were wrong. And if my old theories were wrong, then who really knows the truth of Carsina? Perhaps the divine relay is the answer, or one of infinitely many answers. Okay, Mika, get out of here, you're ruining the moment. It was climbing on my desk. I hope that it works, if only for Ray. We used to stay up late too many times, dreaming about our future together. And my dreams were lofty. Asteria is the goddess of the stars, is she not? But that Asteria is no more. If I had to tell you one thing from my perspective, Looper, it would be this. Oarfish advised you to self-reflect, to fully become who you are. But there are limits. I have reflected too much and become the image in the mirror, rather than the one who stands before it. Become yourself, not the image of yourself. Ad Astra, Looper. Tab to access photos. There's a different colored photo here. Puts a nice bow on this whole thing. I quite like how this quest goes. I think that basically wraps up everything narratively, except for one thing. What's the deal with the cephalopods? Why is Looper here? And how is that going to resolve? Oh, right. Forgot for a moment. Let's get out of here. Ad Astra. Reach for the stars. That's all the quests. And one last thing in this ridiculous run. I will go to Mantle. But first, Looper, it appears you have acquired possession of electropathy. This power is very dangerous to bring to Worm. You will likely die. I will give you the option to go back, which I strongly encourage. What is it your heart desires? Before I go to Mantle, even with that warning. Yeah. Are you willing to die just so you can talk to Worm? I definitely am. I didn't talk with Oarfish before because you couldn't. You actually have to start a new run and get to Lacuna again to be able to chat. What shall we be discussing? Marrow. You look at Marrow and you see an infection. I see a pulse that beats, a mind that dreams, a face that speaks, and I am one to answer. At times it is serene, at times it is curious, adventurous and prodding. Damn it. At others it is afraid, small and shivering. At times its fear turns to anger and it lashes out. Once, in its anger, it pulled off pieces of my mind. I still do not know what it took or where it went. It is like a friend. Do you understand? Friends can do that to you. Push you away while pulling your heart out. Like any friend, we are more alike than dissimilar. Pieces of my mind have been peeled off, and so too Marrow has been stripped of its memories. Shapes and folds of seagoers long before us were purged from the oceans of Carsina. Marrow can no longer remember what they looked like, who they were. Within Worm are the endlings of those memories, but time swims forward. Divine Relay. When they talk, I can hear them, you know. I hear a mother talking to her daughter. Don't go near the tower. If your brood goes, stay here, far away. But why? The little one asks. They're trying to listen to a thunderstorm, and they're trying to make everyone listen. It's no good. Do we run away? I don't know. I was hoping things would be better here, but I know a few scavengers on the outskirts. Should I tell my brood to come with us? I don't think they'll listen. They have nothing better to look forward to. A sandfish buries into the sand to find shelter. It finds a rock. It dents its nose on it. Surely, my friends dig with me. We'll make it through this rock. And so it gathers its friends, and they go and they dig. Oarfish is a philosopher, isn't he? Ray. Ray and I used to talk often, ever since she was a larva. I recall a time many cycles ago. She comes and asks, "Where did we come from?" And I answer, "Let us find out, together." We go down to the vents and wait for some time. Eventually, the marrow rose from the seabed, folding into new shapes as it climbed through the water. She was mesmerized. What about the creatures that came before us? The ones like you? Why don't they come up from the vents anymore? I told her the story. They are sleeping within Callsigns' shell. They will come back when she is grown. When she was grown, I recall another conversation. When we went down to those vents, why didn't you tell me the truth? Not all stories are true. Not yet. But a well-told story can build a new truth. She became very sad. I do not see her sad that often. Divinity. Life is thought-given. All thoughts manifest marrow. Neo told me that there's something with these question marks here. I wonder. Wait a minute. Are you supposed to put together this with what? Oh, there's a homework assignment for me. I could try to fill in the gaps by using, come on, man. Using Chimera's weird, disconnected words and trying to fill in these gaps. I think that might make sense. Marrow, divinity, because divine. Sorry, what was I saying? Duty. When Callsigns was marrow, marrow formed new creatures. Over time, stream, an ordinary generation. However, Oarfish are the only species that formed marrow duty. I believe my mind fragmented for a moment there. Yeah, I'm gonna try that and I'll come back to you if I get around to it, because there are 2 or 3 other things I want to do once this playthrough is over. I mentioned Clair Obscure, for example. Now, my heart desires Mantle. Only ellipses, because I bet Oarfish is thinking, what are you doing? You're gonna die, stop. Mantle is a little different compared to before the update. You can only switch... Well, first of all, there are 2 sets of enemies, and within them, the specific enemies are randomized. You don't see all enemies from one set in a single run, just like the other areas. When you shoot those switches, you swap between the 2 sets, which is really cool. Even the colors of the bullets change, right? Yeah. It used to be that you could shoot those switches any number of times and they would keep dropping pearls, sort of like the stuff in Thermal. Also, I'm now realizing I might actually die here before I do what I want to do. So, Challenge. Gotta be careful with the portal, the teleporters in Mantle. Because with the constant rain of bullets, you could get hit while you're going through. I really like Mantle. There's no respite, it's just the same number of levels as every other area, and yeah, it's affected by that. So if you loop enough times, there will be no items within Mantle itself, which I guess is nice. It might mean that you have no HP refills in here if you abuse that too much. Although, when I mentioned this to Neo, when he saw it in the footage, that is, I forgot to mention I have a ton of unlisted videos of me testing the game. I think I'm gonna leave them as they are. But, I don't know. Ask Neo about that, I guess. Yeah, when this happened, Neo said, "Oh, of course it affects that. I didn't intend that, though." But he left it. I do think it's good that he did. Because even after all the fluoride stuff, I think looping back is insane. I'll try to kill my chains to heal. I'm paranoid. Some of the mini bosses are tough. One in particular I think very well could kill me. But yeah, now these switches, you use them once, and you can also destroy the turrets after you've flipped them. So you still get, I think, the same amount of pearls you could before, but you can't switch as rapidly. The reasoning behind that change I don't quite remember. Yeah, I gotta do that. Oh, I thought I killed it before I could shoot, but evidently I did not. Enough. Yeah, remember the green and red drones? Yeah, those are the two sets of enemies. Currently we're in red mode, so only the red drones show up. I do really like that. It's one of my favorite gimmicks, and that's one of my favorite bits of foreshadowing. That's so cool. I like that he did more stuff like that in the earlier areas. That background detail was there before the update as well. Ah, this is the one. I suck at this mini-boss. I could teleport through it, I guess. Oh, no. Okay. I'm still pretty strong, so no big deal. I'm just gonna ignore my cat for now. He's climbing all over the place. Maybe you can hear him a little. Pulse is fine. I should be using bombs. You get quite a bit of them. Ah. This area is still pretty hard. Besides relays, I think this is one of the hardest areas in the game. It's the final area, so good. I think it goes without saying, but stay away from the top of the screen. The bullets are a problem. I very nearly got hit there. That's more of a note to self, really. For some reason, I like staying up there. Here we go. Notice electropathy shaking. This was a huge mistake. the game closed. Ah, and I guess I could read this now, because I can see my achievements. Oh, wow. Oh my god. That's a lot. I got 13 for doing the Easter egg by entering your own call sign. You got the Angel Badge. Ad Astra, Reach for the Stars. That's for completing the Act 3 quest. Refactor, 8 upgrades at once. Sequence Break, go to every zone before Mantle Gate. In one run. And Accessorize for getting all access unlocks. But there are still 3 hidden achievements. That's interesting. Anyway, my cat beckons and you guys are staring at a black screen, so that is the end of the longest run. I will say that is a non-canonical fail state, because that is more than just dying, as Neo explained to me. There's a good reason why the game closes. That's like a bad ending, almost. So yeah, thank you for watching.